Okay, so here's a starter for 10. What actually is the passion economy? Well, if you're hosting a podcast, or maybe it's your side gig or main hustle, then you're in the passion economy. If you have a full-time career but teach yoga a few nights a week, then that's definitely the passion economy. And if you wake up in the morning with a burning desire to hit the waves, and later on you're going to be sharing those skills with a growing band of devotees, that's also definitely passion economy. All over the world right now, creative micro-entrepreneurs are choosing a new career path where they get to indulge their interests and cast off the shackles of the old school 9 to 5. You may have heard it sometimes referred to as the creator economy, or maybe some kind of advancement on the side economy, the gig economy. But I don't really think those kind of terms do it justice at all. I mean, basically, what we're happening right now is that for the first time since the Industrial Revolution, people all over the world have the right tools and software on hand to be able to create their own business on their own terms around their own interests. Goodbye working for the man, goodbye daily commute. Hello to basically handing over your dreams to yourself as opposed to doing it for somebody else. The passion economy democratizes the world of work. I mean, the further globalization of planet Earth, the increasing rise in open source software and seamless connectivity 24/7 means that basically location and time zones are now just a minor inconvenience. It doesn't matter if creators of killer content are operating millions of miles away from the consumer. If you're the best person around at your thing, maybe making a taco or teaching coding, then why shouldn't you be the master of that realm and start getting paid for it? As our post-COVID-19 world begins to emerge from the flames and this disruption, I'm basically saying that it's important that people start to realize what's important in life. There's going to be many opportunities to develop new income streams for numerous growth segments of the traditional working population. In the past, graduates straight out of school will probably be expected to just walk into a comfortable job, and basically potentially have a very linear but financially rewarding career path. And whilst this may be the case still for some people, it still actually doesn't basically speak to what's actually going to be happening in the world. There's going to be ever increasing uncertainty. There's going to be traditional industries going to the wall. And ultimately, people are just going to be cutting the fat on the demand. There's not going to be that demand that's there anymore. And basically, those jobs aren't going to exist to be supplied anymore. So throw these together with an uninspired youth of today, hundreds of millions of newly redundant employees all over the world, and glacial slow centralized government intervention means that really we need to be moving as an economy, as a global economy, into a DIY, do-it-yourself entrepreneurial work ethic. So I would say as well, the passion economy offers super low barriers to entry. The beauty of it is that they're so low that the opportunities are there to diversify your offering are so high. I mean, basically, you could start off with the simplest things like a newsletter, start building out some great content, start kind of developing your reputation. But within 6 to 12 months, you may have built an empire, a whole 360 strategy around this, which basically means that, you can offer all sorts of different services as you have that kind of growing base. I also think what's really important about the passion economy is it leads to us kind of, having this self-actualization. I mean, self-actualization is a thing. If you've basically listened to or watched the Netflix documentary, it's really, really good, the Defiant ones. It's got Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine on it. And they basically talk about kind of how important it was that they kind of found their passions in music production early on in life. I mean, Dre is basically interviewed and says he feels he's so lucky to have discovered at a young age that he has a God-given talent for spinning records, because if he hadn't discovered that, who knows what else he'd be doing in life. So I'm basically saying to you right now, it's an incredible opportunity right now that the passion economy coming along, that people start to realize maybe what they're good at, what's something potentially they've always wanted to do, something they've always wanted to learn, these kind of things. And, maybe that's the time to start doing something about it. The crux of the passion economy really, though, it's all about discovering who you are, what your real expertise is, and mixing this really with who you want to be. It's all about realizing how you can make money as a lifestyle and really building on this kind of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, realizing your full potential and seeing that self-actualization is a thing. The passion economy really is the future of work. I think this is probably because, people have been building out audiences for a long time, whether that's on Twitter, whether it's on Instagram. But now, people are getting fed up of putting all their content there for free. Why should they be producing amazing video, amazing podcast, amazing newsletters where ultimately they could basically be creating it themselves. So through these audiences, I think there'll be a lot more monetization going on after building the audience. There'll be a lot more potential for people to, just basically tap into their audience and hopefully realize that they can make a career out of it. You see influencers right now, just sticking up loads of ads for, clothes, for whatever really they're just trying to sell. There's no real value in the world there. There's nothing they're doing which is extra particular, extra special. They just built up a following. So why shouldn't people with a real story to tell, with a real passion, with real expertise, make money as well from their skill sets? If ever there was a time with an idea that really was going to come to the fore and empower people, it was this post-COVID-19 time. We are really entering what's going to be a wild west, and it's going to be the people who kind of get off their own ass and do something about it, which is basically the people who are going to do really, really well out of it. So like I've said before, creating real value in the creator economy is super important. It's a case of thinking exit planet free. So, since the internet came about, there has been all these little niches that have been growing online. Social media has come to the fore. But, who knows kind of like what to believe? Who knows who is an expert? Who also doesn't kind of like want to have a big percentage of their income taken from using traditional platforms? So I think you'll start to see a lot more smart creator in the passion economy, people who are diversifying their offerings, people who've actually got really something to share, people who are really, really high up at their kind of like level. And really, they should be the future leaders. They should be the real influencers as well. Quite simply, right now is the time for creators in the passion economy to start getting paid for what they're doing. Forget throwaway webinars, which are just funnel filling. People want to actually attend webinars and live video, which are actually useful and actionable. There's also a growing self-sufficiency movement all around the world, where people are using all sorts of different platforms to basically monetize themselves. Why should they be working for somebody else where they can grow a loyal band of devotees again and actually be able to kind of grow out their offering? So on the customer side, it's increasingly going to be important post-COVID that people are looking to find their tribe. Who's going to be their guru? And we're going into a fragmented world and a noisy world. But from these ashes of COVID, we'll start to see some really cool new ideas happening. You think back to times of upheaval in the past where there's been big recessions. Things like punk rock came out of DIY and DIY ethos kind of came out of massive recessions, massive kind of uncertainty in the world. And I think this is what's going to basically be happening. We're going to be having people who are saying, look, I'm fed up with the status quo. I'm going to come out there and do something myself, something that I love, something around my passions. And we're going to, hopefully kind of lead something really, really strongly from there. We're basically entering the fourth industrial revolution right now. I think the current model of a steady job for life is going to be disappearing. And really, that's going to be a firm product of the 1800s up to the early 2000s. What's to say that for the next 100 years or beyond, a global community of fulfilled micro-entrepreneurs, living life on their own terms and following their passions won't be the new normal. So I think this is a vision we can all get behind. Hope you've enjoyed what I've got to say. Feel free to comment and get involved. Subscribe to our channel. And again, if you like this, share your friends. So yeah, until next time, keep winning.